Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good late morning, wherever you are across the country. Hope everybody's doing well. Welcome to the Friday List Perfectly Claire and Amanda YouTube show. Very excited about today, and we'll get to all of that. But let's say some quick hellos. Brian Hargis traveling across the country, ladies and gentlemen. Kathy's here. Nisha, welcome. I hear you had a good lunch the other day. Red Nose Pit, welcome back. Carol's here. Robin's here. Teresa Cox is here, ladies and gentlemen. And then Amanda's here. I'm here. Clara is on a plane today. She's traveling to Argentina. Very exciting. She did tune into she was in the webinar yesterday, so it was great to see her. She's very excited to be going home for the first time in years, and we're excited about that as well. So, but we'll mention that. Kim's here. Crystal of Rosie's Closet is here. Jill's here. And our special guest today is Vetta of Vetta's Treasures. She's very excited. We're very excited. She told us she's wearing her power dress today that has a cape. So that is particularly exciting. I'm sure I have a cape somewhere, but I'd have to dig it out. But Vetta's amazing. She's inspiring. She's a joyful mom. She's a reseller. She sells clothing on eBay, Mercari, Poshmark, whatnot. And so we'll talk about all that, her journey, work-life balance, inspiration, how she does it all. And you're going to really enjoy getting to know her better. But first, I know you're excited to get to the news. And so I was looking at the news I had for you this week, and I thought, how can we not start with Mercari news, ladies and gentlemen? So this was super interesting to me, kind of coming from, in working in seller engagement at eBay, because this is an example where a platform does something. And believe me, when they do something this big, it is not an easy thing for them to do. And it's not as easy to roll back either. So, and there's different perspectives still on this, but basically a bit back, this, we mentioned it because we know we're your number one reseller news source, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate that. But Mercari made some changes in the US marketplace in a hope to attract more buyers and sellers. So basically, they eliminated seller fees and allowed returns for any reason. And so they also began charging buyers a service fee. So when this came out, there was a lot of mixed feeling about this. So it's interesting that this week they announced that they are going to basically roll the returns back. So less than 2 months ago they launched this, and now they're reversing it. So basically what they're showing is they're listening to the feedback, and the feedback wasn't great. So that's a good thing. So basically, Mercari has said that buyers will no longer be able to initiate a return for any reason. So buyers now will have 3 days to return an item and initiate this return. And the circumstances now are more limited than they were. So after initiating a return request, buyers have 24 hours to provide proof that the item is not how it was described. So again, the good news here is that Mercari was listening to the seller feedback and made this pivot back and reverse this decision, which again, it's not an easy thing to do. eBay's done it a couple times, but it's always good to listen to your community, listen to the feedback, make those pivots. Couple quick reminders. Obviously, PoshFest, we're going to be there. So we announced it this week that we're going to have a meet and greet, and we're going to do some other stuff. List Perfectly team's going to be there in Nashville, Tennessee, September 5th to 6th. So a couple things here. The website for this, where you can get all the information, is poshfest.poshmark.com. And so they're still announcing some stuff. Tickets are coming, ticket prices are coming, ticket information, but the hotels are starting to sell out. So keep that in mind. So people are booking hotels, but they're still waiting on ticket information and some of the programming and all that. So that'll be coming soon. But again, poshfest.poshmark.com, and we will be there. We'll be doing some stuff. We want to hang out. We want to see you. We already know there's a lot of List Perfectly members going. A lot of mastermind people from List Perfectly are going, and the team is definitely going to be there. So we're excited to see you. And then don't forget too, this is great. eBay Up and Running grants are still going. And so they're going to award 50 eBay businesses grant packages of $10,000 cash, eBay education, and stipends so they can buy stuff from eBay Refurbish. So get office technology from eBay Refurbish. That's a great program. So you've still got time. Get in there. All that information is at helloalice.com/grants/eBay. So one other thing though, I like to drop these little nudge, nudge, wink, winks, even though I get them backwards sometimes. Don't forget to check those LP news notifications in List Perfectly. So those are the things you got to keep an eye on. There's could be something coming soon. Maybe there's announcements there you haven't seen yet. We're always making new updates. So you want to look for that in your new listing dashboard. Up in the left, you'll see a little area that is your news notifications, and a little dot will show up when there's new stuff, but be sure to check those regularly. And then get used to down in the corner, there's this new little icon that you can click. You can get support there. You can learn stuff there. You can see notifications there as well. That's going to be something, a lot more stuff is going to be coming. And then again, referral members get special previews. So they get special access. They see stuff early. They learn about stuff early. So another great reason to be in the referral program. It's free for everyone, easy to join at listperfectly.com/referral-program. So all the information's there, and your referrals get 30% off their first month, and you gain referral income as long as you are both List Perfectly subscribers. And speaking of that, ladies and gentlemen, Vetta's Treasures referral code is Vetta's Treasures. And we'll share the link. So this is important. If you're new to List Perfectly, you want to join up today or get more information, be sure and make note of Vetta's code and join up under her. And then, ladies and gentlemen, I do have to plug this new. I've talked about favorite List Perfectly features, and I apologize that my voice is apparently changing, but I'm super excited about this one because there's a couple of things I love about it. So if you've heard the rumors, it's true. I've been listing again. And of course, I use List Perfectly. So basically what I'm doing is I'm putting a bunch of stuff in List Perfectly now so I can get it back out. And I love Listing Assistant, and I love the barcode reader. And you can use it on your phone, but I have a little setup here where a lot of the stuff I'm listing, I sell books. So basically I've got my MacBook open and I go in there, and a lot of people don't know this, and I just found this out myself. I thought the barcode reader was on phone only. It's not. It's also available on desktop. So all you have to do is, it's very easy. You click a button, and if LP doesn't have access to your camera, it'll get access to your camera. So basically what I do is I sit here, I've got a stack. I get in there, I hit the button, I hold it up to the camera, and I love the beep when it scans your barcode. So it beeps. It's just like you're in the store, except you're not buying, you're selling. So it beeps, populates the information. You get photos. And if it's not, most of the stuff is found. And if it's not, you can still add the barcode and go from there. And so I do that. And I use Listing Assistant. I do the title. A lot of times I do the title voice to text, and then I just get the drafts in there, and then I go back and clean them up before I post. So that barcode feature is great, but I kind of wanted to clear up that little thing that I just learned this week, that it's not mobile only. And then I know you're wondering, so I am DAS content media across the board where I sell. So if you're looking, you could come buy my books, ladies and gentlemen. And I've decided, Teresa Cox is just like, just sell all your books. You have too many books. And she says, if I need books again, I can just buy them again, or there's always the library. Yesterday, we had a great webinar with Helpsy talking about sustainability in sourcing and reselling. So I moderated a great panel with Clara, Amanda, and Dana from List Perfectly, and Jessica Renard from Helpsy. Helpsy is doing cool stuff. And as you know, sustainability is very much ingrained in List Perfectly's mission. So we're going to share out the link to that if you didn't get to see it yesterday. So it's going to be available in perpetuity, but a lot of information, a lot of great information on Helpsy and List Perfectly, and how our missions gel basically around sustainability. Another exciting announcement we did make this week, the fabulous Trish Glenn, who I see is in the comments, ladies and gentlemen, we've announced that we are bringing Camp Listing Party back. It's going to be virtual this year, but there's going to be a lot of stuff going on. It's going to be in the summer in August, the week of August 19th. So more details will be coming soon, but there'll be tons of content, in and out of listing party, selling content, list perfectly content, lives, virtual parties, all kinds of stuff. But it's going to be great, very exciting. So that is, ladies and gentlemen, all the news that fits this week. So I'm going to bring our fabulous leader and CEO and co-founder, Amanda Morse, in, and then we'll bring Vetta in and start up the discussion. So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for being here, and give us a thumbs up. We love likes, we love shares, we love comments. Drop comments in the comments. Drop questions in the comments, and if you're lucky, maybe you'll get pinned. But let me bring our fabulous CEO to the stage, because frankly, I'm exhausted after all this, ladies and gentlemen. My energy level.
Hey!
Hello.
Hello, happy Friday.
Indeed, happy Friday. I'm excited to be filling in with you today, and very excited about our great guest too. She's a super cool lady. She loves List Perfectly, loves Listing Party, so, and she's very inspiring.
Yeah, and usually I've got my co-founder here, Clara, but she is on a plane. They don't let you live stream from a plane, so go figure. But she would have loved to be here and chat with Vetta.
Awesome, awesome. Are you ready?
Ready?
Bring her in. All right. Let's welcome Vetta, ladies and gentlemen, of Vetta's Treasure.
Hey, Vetta.
Oh,
Hello,
you're on mute.
everyone. Hello. Of course, I would be on mute.
It
Oh,
happens. It
God.
happens. Well,
Hey,
welcome. Super,
thank
super
you.
excited that you're here with us, and you can share your reseller journey with us.
I am so thankful to be here. And definitely, so I love reselling. I kind of, I've had different hobbies over the years. And then reselling kind of started off as a hobby. And then I fell in love with it. It was the one hobby that I actually didn't mind turning into a business. And so, because I always tell people, I find people that can do things like make cakes or crochet, and I'll be like, "Oh, you should make this a business." And they're like, "I don't want to do this all day." And I kind of had that same concept with different things I did. And then I started doing the reselling, and I was like, I could do this all day. And so I started doing it, and it became such an amazing thing for me. And so for me, the reason reselling is so important in my life is because I have shared, and I share on my live social media pages. I have health problems, so I've battled blood disorders over the years since I was 19. I've had hemorrhaging, I've had blood clots. It was severe, and so it kind of limited my ability to be able to function all the time in the office. But then I turned around and adopted a child with special needs. And my daughter, who is my blessing, my everything, and she had specialists and therapies. And so it's like now you're asking a boss to not only go to your appointments, but to take off for your child's appointments. And neither one of us were going to fall to the wayside because of work. And so I decided reselling will definitely not be a hobby. Mama's going to make this work so that I can be available to us, so that we are the priority always in my life. So I'm able to be home in my office working while she is having therapy in the living room. I'm able to go to her school to see all of her performances and stuff. And she was awarded an award on Tuesday in the middle of the day. And mommy was there on the stage recording her little one. And so those are all amazing for me. And then, like I said, the fact that I dealt with my health and had such severe issues throughout those years, I know the preciousness of each moment of life. And I'm blessed to be able to have the opportunity to do this and be a part of it. So for me, reselling is just, it's freedom. It's definitely freedom, like flexibility and freedom to just do what I want when I need to. And so sometimes it's nose to the grind. Mommy's focused. I need to research. I need to resource. I need to whatever. And then there's times, hey, let's go to the park. Like we just going to we're checking out. We're gonna go do this. And I don't have to ask for time off, and I don't have to apologize for needing time off. And I never wanted to have to apologize for my daughter. Like it's one thing to tell my boss, like, I'm sorry, I had to be out because of my health, but I never wanted to apologize for having to wanting to be at my daughter's therapy session or be at a doctor's appointment with her. Like that just wasn't gonna work for me. But yeah, so that's why I do what I do and why I love what I do. And so and I like helping other people learn it. I was just, do you guys want to just keep talking? I can talk.
No,
But
please.
I was telling the mastermind group, I actually met a lady yesterday. She's at one of the stores. A lot of stores closing down, and there's one particular company that's closing all their stores. And I came across one of the reps of the store, and so I was like, "Well, what's next for you?" And she was like, I don't want to do resale anymore. Like I really don't want to work. And she's like, I want to work, but I don't want to work. And I said, well, I resell. And she's like, what? And so she was like, well, I'm interested in that. And she's like, but I don't really know anyone. And I said, you do. You just met someone. And so I told Trish, I said, I'm bringing on a new person to List Perfectly. Like I have told her about the company. I have told her about reselling. And then it turned out that this lady used to work for Catherine's, which is a plus size store here in Texas. And she was there when they closed. And so she was saying how she has mannequins and things and clothes that she bought discount. And she's like, I'm willing to share these plus size clothes with you for your knowledge of reselling. And I'm like, let's talk. And so, and she was like, are you sure you want to tell me things? And, I told her there's several things I live by. And one of them is I don't see competition, I see colleagues. And the fact that I'm able to do something I love doing, uh, I want to be able to share that with other people. I would love to have another mom or dad or whoever say that they have the opportunity to be home and resell and go wherever they don't have kids and you just want to be able to work from the comfort of home or out of a warehouse or wherever someone is willing to share that knowledge. Now, will I tell you every single thing? No. I'm not going to tell you what store I'm at that particular day, but I will tell you the type of stores you can go to get the good deals and stuff. And so, but I'm really excited. And I told the lady, I said, look, my daughter's last week of school is this coming week. But after that, summer hits. If you're serious, we'll go. Like we can hit the ground running. And she's like, she's excited. And she's like, it made me feel good to see her face light up of this opportunity. And she was like, I can't believe that like they had to come find her because she's supposed to be working to close the store. And instead, we've been over here on aisle 12 for like the last 30 minutes talking about her next journey when she hasn't shut down the other one. So I was like, well, how about you finish your job before not?
Well, I mean, you nailed it. I love that you said that. Like, I always like to say, reselling is big enough for all of us. I never work, and I love what you say. You don't have competition; you have colleagues. Very, very well said.
And that's really one of the things too I love about List Perfectly. You guys didn't just give us a place to put our inventory, which thank you because it's a vital part of the growth of my business. Because, like I said, for my health, there are times I can take 60 pictures, and then depending on how I'm feeling, I could be down for 3 days. But thanks to the bank, I can always post. So, and before I didn't have that place where everything was stored. And we've all had those moments where pictures got lost or, something happened crazy on one of the platforms. And it's like, oh my gosh, now I have to go pull this item out that is perfectly sealed and all wrinkled now to steam it and take the photos. And so I'm like, never again with List Perfectly. But like I said, it gave me a great inventory system. And then you guys turned around and gave us a community. And so there are times like we have that 24-hour room. And my sister was like, she came by one day and she was like, everybody's screens were off. Everybody was muted. And she's like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm on the Zoom. And she's like, but nobody's talking. And I told her the only way I can describe it to you is Think about an office. We're all in our cubicles and you can't see each other. But then you'll have that one person that's in the cubicle that'll be like, "Hey, Amanda, are you there? Yeah, what's up? I'm having trouble with da da da. Can you help me?" And then they'll pop up. And so I'm like, you're literally just working in the office with your colleagues. Like, we're all there. We'll have people that come into the 24-hour room. And it's weird because you can tell the ones that are not used to that because they'll see all the cameras off and the mics off and they're like, "Hello?" And so we have to say, "Oh, we're here. We're just all working." And it's great because it gives you someone to work with, but it's also accountability. Because the other day someone came in there and they were talking and talking and talking, and we're like, "Hey, we talk, but we work while we talk." So you got to get back to work. But yeah, I that's something I don't know if other places thought about. Not just having where it's just an inventory system, but it's a community. Like, we're literally getting double for our money. We're getting, all this vital information, all these colleagues on top of having a great inventory space. And, there are things that I will, if I had to start downsizing, list perfectly would be that, it's like when people say they'll let go of their car, but you'll never let go of your house. So it's kind of like, I might have to sell a mannequin or two, but list perfectly is going nowhere because I need list the house. I need list perfectly.
Oh, thank you so much for saying that. And yeah, I mean, I got to channel Clara here. Listing party. I can't do it justice. She does it so much better, but I had to do it. I have to try.
Yes. So, but
That's
yeah, like I said, it's been great. And there was a gap in my list perfectly Zooms for a while. And then I came back and there was all these new people. And I was like, "Who are these people?" But I love the fact that like people like Liz or Trish were like, "Betta's not new. She just disappeared for a while." But it's like I came and some of the newer people were just like, "Oh, there's this new person named Vetta." And I'm like, "No, I remember when there was like six of us in this Zoom room, and now there's like a full mastermind room." And I'm like, maybe I should turn my camera off. I don't know these people. But even the people that were there, like, just automatically start becoming friends. People like Jason and Brett and Gina, like all of them, like they weren't there when I first started. And then I came back and it's like I came back to a whole new office of colleagues. But it had grew, but still had that same quality and family feel. And
Yeah.
so I love it. And the break
Well,
was I became a PTA president. And let's just say it's a one and done for me. But it was fun, but it's a one and done.
oh my
yeah.
gosh. Well, I mean, I gotta just like get in here and just say, I mean, for anybody that doesn't know Listing Party and what Vetta is talking about, if you have a List Perfectly subscription, you have access to Listing Party. And Listing Party is there's so much to Listing Party. Like, Vetta, you explained it really well. I mean, you're finding your colleagues, you're getting that support while you list, but you can also establish goals. You can push your listings over to Listing Party, which was, one thing that we were really excited about. You want to help the community, you can buy from each other. You push your listings over to Listing Party, and then, those in the community can, if they're looking for something, choose to buy from your community first. And you can set up goals and all that. So thank you so much. But I got to ask you, Vetta, too. Of course, I need to know what it is you specialize. Do you specialize in anything that you resell?
So when I first started, I was at everything. And now I realized, okay, I need to niche this down because I feel like whenever I walked in the store, I was everywhere and I just didn't know what to get. And that's where I say it's learning from people is good, but you also have to figure out what's going to work for you. And so what I have a real you will find I particularly have clothing. You will find different sizes, but my passion is plus size. And I mean, I'm a plus size woman. So I know it and I love it. And when I come across that, I love dresses. I will say that I'm kind of biased. I'm from a dress woman. And so I come across these dresses and it's like maybe it's not my size, it's bigger or maybe it's a size smaller. But I imagine the plus size woman that will get this dress and feel beautiful in it. Because when I was growing up as a teenager, it was so hard to sometimes find the clothes that you like. I didn't like trying on clothes. It was just one of those things. I was just very insecure in me. And then I had to learn to love me. And so one of the things I always tell people is that even when I see social media, there's so much back and forth when it comes to the plus size community. It's not about what we're promoting as obesity or anything like that. It's just about loving yourself. I tell people all the time, you need to love yourself in every stage of your life. You can't wait to be somewhere to love yourself. And we all say that in different things. Like some people say, "Oh, when I get this size, I'll dress up and I'll love myself." Or when I get to this age, I'll dress up and love myself. Or when my business reaches this place, I'll love it. Love your business when you have $100 in your bank account, and then love your business even more when there's a million. But the thing of it is you got to learn to love every piece of the part of the journey. Because I always start thinking to myself, what if you don't reach a size 12? You're going to love yourself when you get to a size 12 or 10, but you may not see that. And then you went your whole life without loving the Vetta that you are. And so I decided I'm going to love Vetta every inch, every step of the way. And so when I get these plus size clothes, I want every plus size woman to know no matter where you are in your journey, you're a powerhouse. You deserve to look beautiful. Get you a dress with a cape and rock that. So, yeah, so that I always say plus size fashion is my passion, if that helps.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, I mean, and you're actually solving a need too, because I can imagine that a lot of shoppers out there may not have access to, their size. And so you offer that. I mean, I know selling online, one of the most in demand sizes when I was selling even years ago was the plus size. And I was doing vintage. So the challenge there. Everything vintage is
Oh,
like,
yeah.
right? So when you found those bigger sizes, that was like, wow. So, I mean, I love your specialty. And I love what you said, love yourself, love your business for where you are today, and enjoy the journey and enjoy who you are. That's very well said.
Because I mean, when we travel, we do. You stop at little stores and you take pictures everywhere. Like you don't just get from A to B. Like you enjoy that journey and that ride along the way. And so I'm like, I'm here for the ride. But yeah. And I've kind of gotten into some kid stuff because, like I said, I have a little girl. So I kind of came up with Amari's Treasures. There is no, she has like a little logo, but there is no real place yet. Other than I started putting like kid stuff on my Macari page for her, and the last page has her little A thing. But it's kind of like it was funny when we would go to the store and I would find her touching clothing, and I was like, "Are you trying to learn the business, baby? Figure out what I need you to learn what cashmere feels like. I need you to learn what like." I was just like, it's so funny, and I'm like, you don't need to be able to spell it out or whatever. Just bring it to mommy, like this. And so, but yeah, so it's awesome. And it's hard to not still sell. It's like I tell people, I do predominantly sell clothes, but I'm not gonna turn down a deal. If I come across some good deals on toys, it doesn't go into Mari's Treasures, but we're bringing it home. Like it's coming with us. And making those connections allowed us to get those things too. Because we'll come across, so being in the PTA, I've come across moms that are ready to clean out some closets. And they're like, so I always tell people what you do because they're like, oh, well, we got all these size, da da da. Do you want these size 3Ts? And I'm like, sure, bring it on by. And that's how some of our inventory grew, was just, I have amazing support system as far as family and friends. And I even had an uncle who, a friend of his wife's friend, found out what I did and why I did it. And she's like, we're going to keep you home with that baby. And she just literally started sending boxes of clothes to my house. And I was like, oh, okay. Given they were not my size, but we'll still sell it.
Awesome. Amazing.
And I see some of my family and friends in the chat. So hello everyone.
There's a lot of love for you in the chat, so hopefully you're seeing that. A lot of hellos, a lot of support, a lot of love. Um,
Yes.
and one thing I wonder, and if you have any tips,
Uh-huh.
we knew some of the stuff you did, but then adding PTA mom, PTA president on there, and then all the stuff. How do you balance it all with your business?
So, yeah. So, the handy dandy thing with cell phones, social media, and all that goes with you. So I've literally been at school serving tacos to teachers while sending out offers, or I
Wow.
I make it word at a doctor's appointment, and I'm like, let me respond to this customer really quick, and I just find a way to make a mesh, and that's why I say like I love that there is the platforms do even with List Perfectly have the stuff there, so I'm
Mhm.
able like if I get pictures, I can be somewhere with my laptop and still get stuff done. I can have the pictures and still edit within List Perfectly on the through the of my phone or a tablet. So it's like I always have the opportunity to get some work in while trying to because when we went for the award ceremony, they had us in the room waiting till they called our group up. So while I'm waiting in the room, I'm like, well, let me send out some offers. And so
Awesome.
literally the moment before I cheered went out to record my daughter on stage, I got a cha-ching. And I'm like, I sold something and my baby got an award. Yay! So we both were celebrating that day. And that sale paid for her dinner out when we left the school. I was
Wow.
like, Mommy's gonna Makari just paid for our meal today. And but she don't care who paid for it. She just wants it. So she's like, but yeah, so I find a way to balance it. And like I said, I am a person who's very worky. And so I do have to make sure sometime when it comes to myself that I do take a step back and be like, okay, we need to rest for a couple hours. We've been doing this. The feet are starting to hurt. And like I said, I find a way because again, I tell my doctor, I can put my feet up and still send offers and still list. And so yeah. So it works. And that's why I
Yeah.
said it wound up being a perfect thing for me to do because whether I'm not gonna lie, I've been in the hospital before, like in the hospital bed. I won't send an offer because I can't ship it right then. But if my sister can swing by the house and grab it, I'll send these offers.
Wow.
I'm like, if I send these offers, will you go ship it if they?
Well, yeah, I mean, reselling, like being your own boss, you're not working 9 to 5, right? Like you're working any little moment that you
Yeah.
have, and it could be 11 p.m. It could be from the hospital, as you've said. But yeah, I mean, you kind of you answered one of my questions, which was how do you source, and you kind of answered that with like just tell people what you do, and then they will bring you stuff. But do you? And I don't want you to give away your secrets. We know everybody works really hard for those. But would you be able to share like any other sourcing methods that you have?
So I do a little bit of retail clearance, but the main thing I do is thrift stores because I found places where I can get things at a very low cost. And the great thing for me is when I get it at a very low cost, I can pass it on to someone else at a low cost. And so it's kind of like I know it's always weird to say because no person is in business will ever say I don't want to be a millionaire, but I truly don't want to be a millionaire. And that goes to one of the things that Trish asked me, like, know your goals. I have no problem with people who want to be a millionaire, but I know the work that it takes to become a millionaire, and I feel like I will have to give up time maybe to get to the millionaire spot. And for me, I just want to be comfortable, but also be able to give something to a parent that's comfortable. So it's kind of like sometimes I never felt like kid clothes should be $20. So it's kind of like if I sell a kid shirt on Macari for $3 and I make $3, I'm okay with that because this mom got that shirt for $3 and there really could be a mom that really needs that shirt for $3. And somebody else could say, oh, well, you could have made 12 off of it. Yeah, I could have, but the shirt is gone. And maybe I didn't pay anything or I paid a quarter or a dollar. At the end of the day, I have a pastor, one of my old pastors, and if he watches this video, he's gonna say, I told you stop acting like that's the only thing I ever said. But he ended the sermon one time with As you have been blessed, go out and be a blessing. And so that's one of the things I live by. Like, I want the opportunity to be able to bless other people. So I have so many friends and family that bless me with these items. And so, do I have to get the toppest dollar for it? No. If I feel like there's someone, as long as my house is still being cared for, at the end of the day, I am a business. And so I will never let me and my daughter's needs or wants fall off to the side. But if I can help someone else, then why not? You know, I a small thing for me is I lost my dad at a very young age, and my mom was only 29 with two daughters, but we never felt like we went without because my mom we were thrift store kids. Like, I always tell people, I don't know brands, but I know cute. So when I got into reselling, I had to learn brands. I was always that kid like, oh, that is cute. And so I told people, like, we didn't grow up with brands, but we grew up with the cute. Like, oh, that's cute. I like that. That's cute. And so it could be Target, it could be Walmart, it could be thrift store. As long as it was cute, I was cute. And so I want people to have that cute. So even if they don't, because I was shocked that people were buying Walmart brands from me on Poshmark. And I mean, they were paying like $15 for a Walmart. And I'm like, why? But it's what they knew. Like, if you know what fits you, if you know what you like, who care? They don't care about the brand. They want it to fit and they want it cute. And so those are my people. We want it to fit and we want to look cute.
Awesome. Amazing. So obviously you have strategies, you're strategic, you balance all these things, you're adaptable. Can you tell us a little bit how List Perfectly fits into what you do?
So this perfectly allows me, like I said, I do all of my listings within List Perfectly, and then I send them out. So for me, I work up that, as we say, the bank. I will build it up. I maybe on a Sunday I took like 60 photos, and then I'll sit there and whether it's at my computer, on my phone, or tablet, laptop, I work on the listing itself. And so that List Perfectly helps with that because I even would take my pictures within List Perfectly. And I always wonder, so if everybody knows that Poshmark, back in the day, I used to do it in Poshmark, and it had to be that one by one square. And I kept thinking, how is these pictures going to fit? Because I forgot to take it with the one by one, and it didn't matter. Like, I kept wondering, like, how these pictures keep showing up perfectly fine every time I cross post. And then I learned that you guys have the picture integration. Again, another awesome thing. But like I said, it does help me to be able to have a place that keeps my inventory. It tracks the numbers for me. Again, like I tell people, I don't, and I'm paying for it. And that's sometimes people always feel like, why do you pay for things? You shouldn't pay for. There are some things that you should pay for. Anything that's making it easier for you, you should pay for. And because my time is precious. And so to me, you guys are something, List Perfectly is something where I'm paying for and it's giving me time. And I didn't always know that because sometimes I used to be a DIYer and I had a friend that told me, girl, my time is money. And so I was like, that makes a lot of sense. And so, yes, paying that fee allows me to have everything in one place. I can look at so for my birthday, which was last month, I upgraded to the Pro plan because I had business for the last year and a half. And then they kept, again, why you should go to these Zooms, people. They kept opening people's screens. And I was like, what are all those extra tabs? And so I kept seeing all these different things that they were doing that I wasn't doing. And I'm like, that was a lot faster than what I'm doing. And so I was like, okay, birthday gift, we're upgrading. And so I upgraded to the List Perfectly and they got me with the Pro and they got me to the Pro Plus. And now I'm just like, oh. And if you don't know, everything that sells is a cha-ching with the List Perfectly. So whenever my computer, even if it's a Poshmark sale, it still goes cha-ching. And I'm like, but yeah, so it keeps everything there. The numbers are there, the pictures are there, the titles are there. I bought one of those little scanning guns and I scanned it and it pulled up the stuff with the what is the feature? The help me out.
Listing assistant.
Yes. And so at first I couldn't figure out how to do it, but then in the Zoom and our mastermind, they told us like, hey, You got to just put the thing in the put your mouse in there. And when I scanned it, I was like, okay, now I need to start scanning everything in the house. Like total game changer. And so I love that. The merge feature came along. So now you guys got me getting stuff that ain't clothes because I need to be able to scan and merge things. And so like my daughter's store, which has like the toys and stuff, I've been using that merge tool so much. I've been using that scanner and the listing assist, like all of it is just, and it makes things go faster. So again, it's less time I'm on my desk, less time I'm on my feet, more time that I'm enjoying relaxing with my daughter. So it's just been great. Like it's all the way around. It's just working. And then you guys just keep coming out with more stuff. Because I have not
Oh,
tried, but Jason was talking about that the newest one. What is it? The
Express
fast.
Lister? Express
Yes.
Lister. Yeah.
I have not tried it yet. But
Oh, yeah.
Jason was talking about it. We were talking about it in mastermind this morning. So now you know I gotta I gotta try it out. I'm like a kid when it comes to new toys. I'm like, wait, what is it doing? I want to try
Well,
it too.
well,
And
we got a ton of more stuff coming, but I just wanted to let everybody know. Can you pop up her Vetta's referral code, because you mentioned something, and it's meaningful to me. A lot of people, when you're you're just getting into reselling, right? If you're new or you're just not sure like how much you want to invest, software might seem like a big investment. And Vetta, you nailed it. Anything that saves you time is going to help. But I wanted to make sure that everyone knows that you all have the opportunity to get like free list perfectly, basically, by joining our referral program and just telling a friend about it, because we will pay you in perpetuity as long as your friend is a referral member, you're a referral member. So that is a great way to save money or get list perfectly for free, and then you have this tool that saves you time. So I just wanted to make sure everybody knew that Vetta has a code, you can too. So yeah, it anything that helps your business and makes and helps you to do things faster so you can do what you do best and get out there, source, sell, live your life. Yeah, so absolutely. But go ahead. Go ahead.
uh, no, so I was just gonna say, if I'm telling you to spend money, trust me, you're it's a good thing because I do not give up my money very easily. Like it takes me time, and so anytime I'm investing in something, it's a true worthy investment. Because people could tell me all day long, "Oh, you should get this," and I'm like, "Oh, that sounds nice," but it doesn't mean I'm going to spend my money on it. And like I said, it was just one of those things that I just it's a game changer. We say that all the time. It's a game changer. And
Yeah.
again, Jason said it this morning, but it is becoming like a theme for us with Liz Perfectly. Where we're all just like, this is a game changer. And so we're waiting for your guys' next game changer.
Oh
But
gosh. Well, we're gonna keep the new stuff coming, but I did want to circle back to your reselling for a second, because you mentioned a couple of the platforms you sell on, Poshmark, Mercari. What would you say is your strongest platform, and where else do you sell?
so I sell on eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. My strongest platform is been Poshmark. And I think just I as though as much as people say Poshmark is a what do you call it, a social thing, I'm a social person. As you see, I talk a lot. So I have no problem talking and sharing. I'm the person that the customer leaves a kind comment. I'll comment back saying, I'm glad you love it. Have a great day. Like, I don't mind being that person where you're just kind of like, I will do the social thing. And I like feeling like I'm doing something. So when I share, it's to me, it's like I'm being active, I'm doing something. And because some people say, well, certain sites you can just leave it and forget it. I don't want to forget it. I want to. Oh my gosh! See, I felt like I was gonna say a thing where we joke about sometimes. That's why people say I touch it. I want to touch it. Like I want to. share it. I want to send offers on it. It just makes me feel like I'm doing something. And so I really do like Poshmark. But I will say that when I told the group that, eBay started running up. Like eBay people started showing up, and I felt like eBay was like, no, 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 you're gonna come over here, come to this side. And so I do. They all have their great points. And for me, Macari right now, I love it because of the whole no seller fees. So I'm really able to just, you can pretty much just throw the price out there and they take it like it's gone. And you don't have to kind of think about what it's costing you for it. And so even with that said, a lot of times when I tell people about when people want to resell, I try to think about the person before I tell them the platform that maybe they should start with, which is weird because you think like, why are you thinking about their concerns? But I know some people who can't buy shipping products. And so I'm going to tell you, you need to go to Poshmark. I know the person who really just, you want to, you're going to sell low, you need to go to Macari. Because if you're going to sell something for $3, you're only going to make 5 cents over at Poshmark. So I'm very logistical when I think about where it's going to sell. And that's kind of why I put my daughter's items where I'm going to start putting them on Macari because they will be that kid shirt that's going for $3 or $4. And I know Poshmark, there will be like I'll just be putting it on there just to put it because, like I said, 5 cents won't get us another piece of item.
Amazing. Amazing. No, great. Yeah, great personalized tips. So speaking of tips, so do you have any returns policy tips, any customer service policy tips? How do you handle all that?
Customer service. B. I don't let it bother me. And I actually have so far. I have high ratings on everybody's platforms. When on Macari, I only had one, I guess, negative review. The lady couldn't fit a shirt. And at first, it kind of bothered me because I had fives across the board, and I was like, "Did she just give me a 4? What is wrong with her?" So, but I don't try to see it as something that's hurting you. Like if you didn't like the item, it's okay, just return it. And a lot of times, like if somebody, I've never really had that customer that's just really nasty about something, and if they say, "Hey, this is a fit," or "There's a spot," okay, just open the return because you just send it back. Because the thing of it is, I'll just donate it or I'll just turn around and resell it. Or if it's my size, I'm gonna stick it in my closet. And so I don't take it personal, but I think it's really helped because like I said, I don't really deal with a lot of returns. But I just try to always make sure that I'm doing great as a seller in a sense that I'm trying to provide that good customer service on the front end so I don't have to worry about it later on the back end with the customer. I don't want to argue with anybody about well, you should have asked for measurements first. Because I did not do measurements unless someone asked. And now I started doing measurements. And that's where I felt like I have to be willing to learn and adapt. Because at first I was like, I'm not gonna spend my time measuring stuff. And then I realized, you know what? Let me just go ahead because I'm having to pull items back out for customers and measure it when it could have just been there. And then that pro has sections on there for measurement. So great. But yeah, I just don't take it personally because we're all people who return stuff. I mean, I've returned stuff to the store before, so why would I be mad that a customer of mine wants to return something? It's just a transaction. I got other things I need to be worried about other than this person. This because I had one on Poshmark. The lady said there was a spot. I don't remember there being a spot, but I was like, I said I don't remember there being a spot when I photographed it and packed it up but please feel free to submit a return with Poshmark and they'll process it. Because I figure either Poshmark is going to say yes or no. And if they say yes, then, it's just going to come back to me. And if they say no, then would you like 20% off your next item? Because again, now I'm just going to make you buy something else. So I got to keep the money and
Yeah.
you're going to purchase something else from me because I'm going to offer you a return. And I'm going to double check, make sure there's no spots on that one. But yeah, I just want to take care of the customers. I do promote on all my listings that I do excellent customer service. The They do say the customer's always right. They're not always right, but I want you to feel like you're right.
There you go. There you go. There is a quick question for you, and I think this is an interesting question from Cha-Ching King, Scott the Cha-Ching King. Vetta, have you cross-posted anything that sold on a platform that you didn't think would?
Uh, yes, I have listed. So I've listed clothing before that I was like, somebody really wanted that. And so it wasn't my favorite piece, but someone else liked it, and I had to kind of learn that like different. What they say, different strokes for different folks, and
Yeah,
so just because it's not my cup of tea doesn't mean it's not someone else's.
sure.
And especially when it comes to like when people say vintage, like Amanda brought up vintage earlier. I am not fascinated by vintage stuff at all. And people, that's all people talk. They're like, that's where the money is, the vintage. And I'm just like, that's ugly. Like I would say it to someone, but I say some things and I'm just like, that ain't real. Mm-mm. But again, they sold it for 120 bucks, and I'm like, well, somebody thought it was cute. So I try not to again just think about it as far as what I like, but what the customer might like. And so, yes, I have had pieces where it's just like, I'm going to photograph it, I'm going to measure it, I'm going to list it, and it may sell quickly. Like I found these boots, they were actually like rain boots, but they looked like cowboy boots. It was kind of like a combination, and they sold within less than an hour. And I was just like, now where am I? I'm not going to find some more of these things. And I found that one pair at Goodwill, and I was just like, what? What? But I mean, it was, if you think about it, it's functional. It gives them the look of the cowboy boot, but it gave them the durability of a rain boot. So I was like, somebody thought about that and, did it, which is how a lot of businesses are created anyway. Things that we would think nobody would think of, somebody thought like this could be. So, yes.
Yeah, that is cool. That is cool.
Anybody
So,
else?
yeah, any other questions before we wrap up, or any other questions from you, Amanda?
Well, I mean, this was amazing. I really learned a lot about you, Vetta. I learned about your reselling journey, and I guess if I were to have one last question, I would ask you: do you have any final parting advice for our viewers?
Let's see. Thoughts. So I one of the things I will always say is, and because again, it's when we have all these different topics. Whenever you bring a bunch of people together in a group, everybody's always going to have different thoughts about how this should be done and how that should be done. And as I said, I don't know if I even said I owned a daycare before I did this. If I didn't say that, and I always tell our parents, you always have to do what's best for you and your family. And so when it comes to a business, I always think about, I would tell anyone, you have to do what's best for you and your business. Do not compare yourself to other businesses. Just like I said, I don't want to be a millionaire seller. There are people who want to make a million. And I kudos to those. If there's a person and all they want to do is make $1,000 a month, we celebrate them. If there's a person who wants to make $100,000 a month, we celebrate them because they're doing what's best for them. Do not compete with others. And that's how I run my business. I'm not trying to keep up with the other sellers. I'm trying to learn from you because you can learn from different people. So it's kind of like something that Brian or Amanda might be doing. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take that idea from Amanda, I'm gonna take that idea from, I said Brandon, Doug. Where did I get a Brandon from? I'm gonna take
Sorry.
this idea from Doug, but there could be things that you guys could be doing or saying. I'm like, I don't do that. And so you have to take what works for you and not try to chase after. Because I did that one time. I bought a bunch of ties because Don was talking about these ties. And now all the ties are sitting in the box because I realized I do not like ties. But that's where I kind of had to figure out better what did you want to sell? You got to be buying things that you're actually going to want to list. It cannot just be about what's selling, like these BOGOs. And there's nothing wrong with chasing BOGOs. But again, at the end of the day, if you're going to find the BOGO and you're going to put it on the shelf and never list it, then you just have a BOGO on the shelf. So again, just do what's best for you and your bit. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Don't worry about what other people are selling. You can listen and learn. But at the end of the day, the decisions you make affect your business. So don't let someone convince you to spend $10,000 on a pallet if you don't have $10,000 to spend, or you're never going to list that pallet because it may be successful for them because they're actually doing the job. But then you just lost $10,000 and you can't really be mad at them. So, with that said, everything I shared today are my opinions, my thoughts. Take what you need, toss away what you don't, and love your journey.
Amazing. Amazing.
Great
Wow.
advice.
And let me just say that, so I talked to Vetta earlier this week. I think it was in Mastermind, and we talked about her coming on Friday, and she said that she was nervous. And this is sincere. I've been doing this a long time, and I've interviewed hundreds of sellers, even when I was at eBay. And you are one of the best I've ever interviewed, one of my favorites now. You covered everything so well. You basically covered all the questions and such great advice, and so relatable and so fun. And thank you so much. It was a joy talking to you today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Vetta.
Thank
I
you.
agree. Ditto, Doug.
Liz says you just dropped the mic.
And I thank you guys for giving me the opportunity on your platform to share my story, my business, and my passion with everyone. And thank you to everyone who showed up and shared the love. I have been seeing the side screen and stuff. And again, this is wonderful. It's all amazing. And so I'm happy and I look forward to our next listing party. I know there will be talk in our next mastermind.
That's
And
right. That's
but
right.
thank
And
you,
you too.
thank you all, and thank you guys for what you presented here with us perfectly.
And I just thank you and thank you. I mean, I've been reading the sidebar, lots and lots of love for you, for your energy. And I just want everybody to know, if you want to hang out with Vetta, just come on over to Listing Party. If a List Perfectly subscription is all you need. You get right over into Listing Party, and you too can hang out with Vetta and everyone of our other Listing Party members, and get advice, get camaraderie, and whatever you need for your business. So I just want to say thank you again, Vetta. Great session. Really enjoyed having you here, and can't wait to hear more about you and in Listing Party.
Yeah, amazing. And Vetta,
All right. Sounds good.
you'd be you'd be great for your own show on Listing Party if you wanted us to help you set that up. The weekly Vetta show. That would be amazing. We know you're a little busy though. One last quick question. Vetta, do you have a YouTube or
Maybe
IG?
during the summer, because summer's a
Yeah.
little slower than the school year. But oh,
Um, so 911 Crime Time is asking, does Vetta have her own YouTube or IG that she goes live on? Are you going live anywhere right now, Vetta?
I do not. Believe it or not, I do not. And it's crazy because I've had numerous people, you guys are, this is big that everybody's seeing me now, but I have had like individual small groups where I've spoken, whether it be at church or my daughter's school or wherever. And people have told me, like, you should do YouTube videos. I even had a counselor one time that told me I should be counseling because he was like, with everything you've gone through in life, you still have this amazing, like, I love life. But I've always kind of been nervous about putting myself out there for the world to see. So this is like really my first big time having like as Trish said, this will be on forever. I'm just like, oh gosh. But no, I currently do not. It is something I will think about though. Maybe I'll start with Instagram before we do the YouTube.
There you go. There you go. No, I agree. I think you'd be fantastic. And you've obviously got a ton of fans here and
Yeah.
everyone. So this is Vetta's link tree. So you can see you can see where she is, where she sells, where she is on social media, and then we'll all hope that hope she'll do some listing parties on her own, and we'll all hope that she goes live and becomes the next, because we've actually seen it. We have sellers that are now like have more followers, go live all the time than they could mention, and they've started in listing party. And we love to help facilitate
Oh
that.
yeah, I'd rather start there than Instagram. So if I'm note to self, if I decide to go live, I will start with listing parties. So if you're not on listing party, you should join the listing party because I'll be there first.
Awesome, that's good to know. But yeah, thank you so much. And I think we did a great wrap up. And again, that was awesome. And thank you, Vetta. Thank you, everybody that watched and listened. And then, so this was obviously live. You watched it live, but it is always out there, as Vetta said. It is always out there on the YouTube. You can revisit, share it with your friends. We'll share it as well. And I really think that this was such a great chat and so informative. I think I'm going to make it into a podcast episode as well, Vetta. So we'll help spread the word.
Hmm. Well, thank you again, Vetta. I hope you have a wonderful weekend and great selling your way.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Well, thanks everybody. Like I said, usually I do the plugs, but you all start dropping out when I do the plugs. I like to do the plugs, but hope you enjoyed this today. We'll be back next week with another. Next week is a special episode. We will announce early next week. It's one for the ladies, we think. So it's going to be fun. We will see. But thanks everybody. Thanks so much, Vetta. Thanks so much, Amanda. And then we will see you all next time. All right. Thank you. Bye, everybody.